on trade. He is insisting he will be imposing tariffs until he secures better trade deals for the U.S. And in that exclusive interview with Maria Bartiromo, he says countries are ready to deal.
We have the worst trade deals in the world. We lose money with everybody. You know, when somebody walks in and says, how much do we lose with this country? We lose with everybody. We're going to make it reciprocal. We're going to make them fair. And I will tell you that you don't know about this, but every country is calling every day saying, let's make a deal, let's make a deal. It's going to all work out.
Well, for more on this, let's bring in Erich Reimer, president of Nuevo Horizons, and Max Burns of the Robert F. Kennedy Human Rights Organization. Guys, good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Erich, I want to start with you on the issue of Europe. We're seeing pressure on the European markets this morning, and the EU, of course, has been threatening retaliation. Listen to what he said once again about his views on Europe as a trading partner.
The European Union is possibly as bad as China, just smaller. Okay? It's terrible what they do to us. European Union, take a look at the car situation. They send the Mercedes in. We can't send our cars in. Look what they do to our farmers. They don't want our farm products. Now, in all fairness, they have their farmers, so they want to protect their farmers. But we don't protect ours, and they protect theirs.
Erich, I mean, does he have a point about Europe?
I mean, a lot of the current European-U.S. trade laws are left over from the Marshall Plan post-World War II time when we were rebuilding Europe in the wake of that devastation. Certainly as a long-term paradigm, any kind of situation where there are increased tariffs decreases economic efficiency and et cetera. However, in terms of leveling the playing field, I think in some ways President Trump definitely does have a point. And even though I think no one wants to see a long-term tariff situation in place as a short-term negotiating tactic, kind of as a way to bring them to the table to have deals be made, I think it is worth giving it a chance and seeing how this goes, because, I mean, certainly a lot of the situation is now different than before.
But the worry, Max, is, of course, what the price is going to be on the American consumer if this trade war blows up, not just between us and the Chinese, but the Europeans. 44% of cars that are sold in the United States are foreign-made cars. Yes, some are manufactured in the United States, but, you know, Mr. Trump telling Maria he wants to see more of these companies make those cars in the U.S. The Europeans seem to be fighting back now.
It's such a ridiculously combative policy, just as everything so far with President Trump has been. It's this system of throwing our longtime allies aside, treating people poorly, making short-term bargains for long-term things that don't pan out. I'm curious to see if one deal President Trump actually does comes to fruition in a beneficial way for Americans.
Well, some of it has. I mean, the North Korean summit. I mean, he's definitely changed the regulatory landscape, and the markets have been so far reacting.
Well, we haven't gotten anything from the
way.
Korean summit yet, so nothing has come from the Korean summit but words, and a tax policy that's come out, and tax cuts that people like Senator Rubio have said don't work and hurt the economy. It's not the inspiring statement I think you think it is.
Well, let's talk then about the economy and about tax cuts. That's something the president has done. Listen to what the president said, Max, about tax cuts.
We're doing a phase 2. We'll be doing it probably in October, maybe a little sooner than that. And it'll be more of a middle class. We did a lot for the middle class, but this will be even more aimed at the middle class. One of the things we're thinking about is bringing the 21% down to 20. And then for the most part, the rest of it would go right to the middle class.
Max, I mean, that is the middle class American is feeling their pocketbook a lot larger, their 401k a lot larger because of those tax cuts, something the president's done.
And I'm looking at this and seeing things like the fact that large corporations, they got most of this money, almost 3/4 went towards stock buybacks, went towards bonuses for top executives. Only about 1/4 or a little bit less actually went to long-term raises, to bonuses for employees, the kinds of things that spur the economy long-term. So until the president actually puts up some legitimacy on the issue, I'm hesitant to take anything that he says at face value.
But Eric, I mean, again, we've got record low unemployment. You've got wages that are now going up. You've actually got a talent shortage, a worker shortage in the United States. I mean, forget maybe he doesn't always say things in the nicest way, but Eric, the economy does show proof that a lot of these quote unquote crazy things that he may be pushing are actually working.
Oh, exactly. I mean, in terms of every metric, basically, in terms of business optimism, consumer optimism, unemployment, economic growth, I mean, our economy is operating at full speed. And I think a lot of that has been from the attitude that President Trump has embraced, the pro-growth attitude, regulatory reform, et cetera, these tax cuts. And even though things like shareholder buybacks, those are important for the market, important for investors, and result in gains in the stock market and the resulting increase for people's investments, retirement savings, et cetera. And so, I mean, I think a lot of it's going to hopefully continue as it moves forward.
Well, I mean, again, you know, if they vote on their pocketbooks and they vote on their wallet, he talked about the midterms in that interview with Maria, that's going to be where we're going to see the proof of what the American people actually think and how they feel. And that's in November. Eric and Max, gentlemen, thank you both so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Well, Facebook under the microscope, again detailing how it gave companies access to user data.
Teresa Carrasco's got that story and other headlines. Here we go again with Facebook, Trace.
Yes, that's right.